Hello everyone, I am Pranoy, the product advocate here at Five. Now, Five is a low-code development environment through which we can build our own business applications. So what I'm going to do today is I just want to give you a quick overview of how exactly Five works and how we can use Five to build our own applications. So on the left hand side, you can see a bunch of menus such as visual, logic, data, task, setup, and tools. Inside visual, we get to create our own forms, charts, and dashboards, etc. Inside logic, similarly, we get to write our own custom code. Inside data, we can build our own tables, and also we have tasks, setup, and then management tools. Okay, so what we have here right now is a completely new app. It has nothing attached to it. So it's completely empty. So let me just quickly run this app and show you how an empty app inside Five looks like. Okay, so this is what an empty app basically inside of Five looks like. We get our own navigation bar and avatar through which we can see the users, and this is basically the interface of our empty app. Okay, so let's go back to Five. Okay, so what I want to do right now is quickly show you how we can make a form inside Five. So let's get started by creating our own tables. Now what happens is inside Five, every application that you create gets its own dedicated MySQL database. So that actually gives us the ability to create SQL tables inside Five. So let us start by clicking this button called as add table. You can quickly name our table. I'll call it products. And Five actually, you can see, creates a primary key for us. Let us create our own fields. First one can be name, the data type can be text, and the size we can give it anything, and the display type can be text as well. This is for our front end. Yep. Okay, let's give it a few more fields, such as it can be description for the product. Again, the data type can be text. The size can be anything. Display type can be text as well. Let's give it one more. So just price, integer, anything, and the display type can be text as well. Okay, so if we expand our table, we can see this is what our table looks like. As I can click on save, and now I have a working table inside Five. So let us go and click on visual and then forms. Inside form, we can click on a form wizard, select our table, which is products. We get all of our details already filled. We can click on next, and we have our fields. I can make some of them as required. I'll just make the name as required. Let's click on save, and now I have a form. So if I run the app again, you'll see that now I actually have a form on my screen. Now you can't see anything right now because the table is completely empty. Let me just quickly add a field. So we can give a name of a product. So let's say a product one, any description, lorem ipsum, the price can be whatever, I'll say $1,000, and I save it. And I get my product over here, and I can view the details or change it if I want to. So as you see, I did nothing with the UI. I changed nothing, and I actually got a working form on my screen. So I didn't have to play around with the UI. Five actually handled that for me. But if I want, I can change the layout of my form and how it looks like by this drag and drop method. I don't have to work around with the UI, but if I want to, I can. Okay. Since now we know how to make forms inside Five, let me just quickly shift our applications and actually demonstrate a different app to you to give you a better use case of Five. Okay, so right now what I'm showing is a restaurant finder application. So we built this application as a initial proof of concept for a particular business. So what this app does is that you can enter your postcode over here. So we can type in any postcode such as 4067, and I hit on run. And what it does is it actually lists all of the local restaurants belonging to that postcode, which is 4067. And what it does is it uses Google Places API, makes a call to it, and then displays all of the restaurants to us. We can then save any details of our restaurants, and by saving, what it does, it permanently saves it to a table, and then we can view more details of that restaurants. So then if I go to saved restaurants, you can see the restaurants that I saved, Kulathat Pizzeria. And now I have its name, its address, phone number, the opening hours. I can write my own custom notes here as well. Or I can also click on the show and map button. And now what it does, it opens a map which is pinpointing the exact location of the restaurant. I can convert the entire map into full screen, switch from satellite view or normal view, and even Google Street View. Okay, so how did we build this app? I'll just give you a very fast overview. So a fairly simple app, but this entire application was made using only 4 functions and 1 SQL query. Let me show you how you can write your own code inside 5. So you can go to logic and then navigate to code editor. Then you can click on this plus icon, which is add new code. Name your own function. I'm just going to call it dummy. Select my language like JavaScript and press OK. Now I get a simple boilerplate function. Let me show you one of the pre-existing functions that we actually wrote for this app, which is the get restaurants app function. So again, a very simple function which just sends a call to the Google Places API and then returns all of the restaurants belonging to that particular postcode. So a normal function with around 56 lines of code. This app also has its own custom theme, and you can set your own theme for your app by going to setup, clicking on themes, and then you get a very simple point and click editor over here. You can pretty much change anything that you want here. Let's say if I want to change the color of my navbar. So I click on my navbar, change its color. And as you can see, the breadcrumbs have some hover effect. Let's change the color of the hover effect as well. So go here, I'll make it more dark. And now I can't see anything when I hover. But yeah, we also give the entire CSS for our application. So we can pretty much change anything around for my app. But let's be honest, we really don't like working with CSS. So that's why we are giving the point and click editor as well. Okay, so let's talk about some tools that we can use to maintain our applications, such as audit trail. Now what audit trail does is that I can actually see every single change that has happened in my application over a set period of time. So let's say if I wanted to see all of the changes that had happened from 1st February, I press OK, I search, and then I literally get every single change that has happened in my app over from 1st February till today. So these are everything that has happened in my application, such as this was my table name, the ID, which user changed it, what action, and when did it happen. One more really cool feature that I really like is if I go to any previous function, it's not only limited to function, every single feature inside 5 will have this little history icon. So if I look at my function right now, as you can see, it's a fairly basic function with only 58 lines of code. I can save. Let's go back to our history. And now we actually get every single timestamp for the changes that have taken place in this function. So I can go very back to 15th February. And now if I press edit, and if I click, now I can see that my code is completely different. It's now 49 lines of code with huge pieces of commented out. And this was basically the initial phase of a function. We also have our logs here and everything else. So basically every single change inside 5 is actually tracked down, and you can navigate back to any changes that you have made over any set period of time. You don't even have to do anything. 5 actually automatically tracks them for you. The last thing I'd like to talk about is another tool called as Code Analyzer, which actually showcases every single function and queries that I have inside my app. And as you can see, if you count the number of lines of code, we have roughly 150 lines of code. Okay. So with that, I'd like to conclude this video. Thank you.